Bonjour et bienvenue. In this video, you are going to learn le subjonctif présent. Before teaching any tenses, I always talk about the moods. There are 6 moods in French grammar. L'indicatif, le subjonctif, le conditionnel, l'impératif, l'infinitive, and le participe. As I always say, the moods are like the umbrellas and the tenses are like the frogs which come under these umbrellas. There comes 5 tenses like the 5 frogs. We will focus only on subjonctif présent in this video. We will cover all these chapters in this video. Mainly on le subjonctif présent in this video. Le subjonctif passé and le subjonctif impératif will be covered in a separate video. The other 2 tenses, le subjonctif imparfait and le subjonctif plus que parfait, are not used generally. They are used in old literature. What is subjonctif? Le subjonctif is not like l'indicatif mood. In French grammar, subjonctif is a mood that is used in a dependent clause that usually starts with que to indicate subjectivity, uncertainty, possibilities, feelings, thoughts, wishes, doubts, etc. Le subjonctif is used to express an action which is dependent upon a subjective idea, opinion, or condition. The idea in the dependent clause is either contrary to fact or possible but not probable. Let's take an example and figure it out. Le père veut que son fils devienne médecin. The father wants his son to become a doctor. In this sentence, even though the father wants his son to become a doctor, it is not certain that the boy will carry out the father's desire. Therefore, the action is expressed in the subjonctif présent tense. How to conjugate a verb in le subjonctif présent? At first, we will learn how to conjugate a verb in le subjonctif présent tense. There are 3 groups of verbs in French. First group of verbs end with er, second group of verbs end with er, and third group of verbs end with er, re, and oir. First group and second group of verbs are called regular group verbs, whereas third group of verbs are called the irregular group of verbs. There are many tenses in French which have radical plus terminaisons structures like le présent, le futur simple, l'imparfait, le conditionnel présent, etc. Le subjonctif présent also is conjugated in the same way, radical plus terminaison. Radical means the base, stem, or fundamental part of the verb, and terminaison means the ending part. Step 1. How to form the radical for le subjonctif présent. Take the third person plural form of présent tense for any verb from any group. Remove the final ent and you get your radical for le subjonctif présent. For example, let's take parler from first group. Let's take the third person plural of présent tense, parle, P-A-R-L-E-N-T, and remove the final E-N-T, E-N-T. Parle, P-A-R-L. This is the radical for le subjonctif présent tense. Let's take finir from second group. Finisse, F-I-N-I-S-S-E-N-T is the third person plural form of present tense. And then remove the final E-N-T. Finis, F-I-N-I-S-S. This is the radical for le subjonctif present tense. Let's take attendre from the third group. Take the third person plural form of present tense and then remove the final E-N-T. Attend. A-T-T-E-N-D. A-T-T-E-N-D. This is the radical for le subjonctif present tense. Pretty easy to form the radical, right? And now step 2. The terminaisons or the ending parts. We will add E, ES, E, E, IONS, IEZ, ENT, ENT with the radical. Great! Let's check out some examples. Parler, to speak. Que je parle. Que tu parles. Qu'il parle. Qu'elle parle. Qu'on parle. Que nous parlions. Que vous parliez. Qu'il parle. Qu'elle parle. Finir, to finish. Que je finisse. Que tu finisses. Qu'il finisse. Qu'elle finisse. Qu'on finisse. Que nous finissions. Que vous finissiez. Qu'il finisse. Qu'elle finisse. Attendre, to wait for. Que j'attende. Que tu attendes. Qu'il attende. Qu'elle attende. Qu'on attende. Que nous attendions. Que vous attendiez. Qu'ils attendent. Qu'elles attendent. If you are learning subjunctive for the first time, you may pause the video and practice conjugating some verbs from different groups. Here's a small exercise of good old conjugations for you. You will find all the answers in the free PDF which I have kept under this video. Download the free PDF. Check the answers. Write your answers in your notebook and compare and check your answers from the PDF. Now, let's check out some third group verbs which have irregular conjugations. You must memorize some of the third group verb conjugations in subjunctive present tense. I will show these verbs on the screen. You may pause and note down slowly. And it is not necessary that you memorize all the verbs at once. Remember, slow but steady wins the race. Irregular conjugations. There are some third group verbs which have irregular conjugations that you must memorize. I am showing the conjugations on the screen. Avoir, to have. Que j'ai, que tu aies, qu'il ait, qu'elle ait, qu'on ait, que nous ayons, que vous ayez, qu'ils aient, qu'elles aient. Être, to be. Que je sois, que tu sois, qu'il soit, qu'elle soit, qu'on soit, que nous soyons, que vous soyez, qu'il soit, qu'elle soit. Pouvoir, to be able to. Que je puisse, que tu puisses, qu'il puisse, qu'elle puisse, qu'on puisse, que nous puissions, que vous puissiez, qu'il puisse, qu'elle puisse. Faire, to do, to make. Que je fasse, que tu fasses, qu'il fasse, qu'elle fasse, qu'on fasse, que nous fassions, que vous fassiez, qu'il fasse, qu'elle fasse. Savoir, to know. Que je sache, que tu saches, qu'il sache, qu'elle sache, qu'on sache, que nous sachions, que vous sachiez, qu'il sache, qu'elle sache. Vouloir, to want. Que je veuille, que tu veuilles, qu'il veuille, qu'elle veuille, qu'on veuille, que nous voulions, que vous vouliez, qu'il veuille, qu'elle veuille. Aller. To go. Que j'aille, que tu ailles, qu'il aille, qu'elle aille, qu'on aille, que nous allions, que vous alliez, qu'ils aillent, qu'elles aillent. Valoir. To be worth. Que je vaille, que tu vailles, qu'il vaille, qu'elle vaille, qu'on vaille, que nous vallions, que vous valliez, qu'il vaille, qu'elle vaille. Falloir. To be necessary. This verb has only third person singular il form. Qu'il faille. Pleuvoir. To rain. This also has only third person singular il form. Qu'il pleuve. Amazing! Congratulations for making it this far. If you are enjoying learning French with Basu, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. And then, mourir, to die. This verb undergo an internal vowel change in nous and vous radical, same as in présent de l'indicatif tense. Mourir, the base form, is formed by dropping the ent from third person plural, meur, which you can see with all the subjects except nous and vous. In nous and vous, the radical becomes mour. Que nous mourions, que vous mouriez. Number 3. Prendre, tenir, venir. These verbs and the verbs from their family, such as revenir, devenir, souvenir, reprendre, retenir, etc., undergo an internal vowel change in subjunctive present radical for nous and vous forms only, exactly the same way as in présent de l'indicatif tense. Prendre, to take. The radical for this verb is formed by dropping the ent from the third person plural of present tense. You get prenn, which you can use for all the subjects je, tu, il, elle, and again il, elle plural. But with nous and vous, the radical will spell like pren, not double n. Que nous prenions, que vous preniez. Tenir, to hold. The radical is tien with all the subjects except nous and vous. With nous and vous, the radical becomes ten. Que nous tenions, que vous teniez. Venir, to come. The radical is venn, which can be used with all the other subjects except nous and vous. With nous and vous, we have ven as our radical for subjunctive présent. Que nous venions, que vous veniez. It is not vinn with nous and vous. Number 4. Recevoir, boire. These verbs also undergo an internal vowel change in subjunctive présent radical for nous and vous forms, same as in present tense. Any other verb coming from the same family will have the same kind of conjugation. Décevoir, concevoir, devoir, etc. Recevoir, the usual base form is R-E-C cédille O-I-V. But with nous and vous, it becomes R-E-C-E-V. R-E-C-E-V. Que nous recevions, que vous receviez. Boire, to drink. The radical is B-O-I-V, which you can use with all the subjects je, tu, il, elle, again il, elle. But with nous and vous, it becomes B-U-V as the radical. Que nous buvions, que vous buviez. Amazing! You have completed learning the conjugations of all the irregular third group verbs in subjunctive present tense. Now let's talk about some of the irregular verbs in first group. there are some first group verbs which have tiny changes in their conjugations which require a little bit of attention. Let's take a glance. Number 1. YER ending verbs such as employer, envoyer, nettoyer, essayer, payer, etc. and croire, voir verbs change the I in the third person plural base to Y in the nous and vous forms. It's exactly the same as present tense. Envoyer, to send. The radical is envoi, which you can use with all the other subjects except nous and vous. Que nous envoyons, que vous envoyez. You see, the radical is envoy, not envoi for nous and vous. With croire, the same thing happens. The usual radical is croi, but with nous and vous, you will use croy as the radical. Que nous croyons, que vous croyez. All the other subjects will have croi as their radical. Number 2. ler ending verbs and ter ending verbs. Not all ler ending, not all ter ending verbs. Verbs which double the consonant in the third person plural have only one consonant in the nous and vous forms. Some of the verbs which follow this pattern of conjugation are noted on the screen. Jeter, to throw, the base form being jett, which you can use with all the other subjects except nous and vous. With nous and vous, we will use only one consonant, T, not double T. Que nous jetions, que vous jetiez. S'appeler. The base form is S apostrophe A, deux fois P, E, deux fois L. But with nous and vous, we will use only one L. Que nous nous appelions, que vous vous appeliez. Only one L with nous and vous forms. Number 3. Verbs with E accent aigu in the infinitive, such as céder, compléter, considérer, espérer, préférer, répéter, etc. change the E accent grave of the third person plural stem to E accent aigu in the nous and vous forms, exactly like it happens in présent de l'indicatif tense. For example, céder, to yield, to hand over, etc. The base form is CE accent grave de, which you can use with all the other subjects except nous and vous. With nous and vous, you will use CE accent aigu de. Que nous cédions, que vous cédiez. Number 4. Verbs with E in their belly, such as acheter, appeler, jeter, lever, mener, etc. Change the base in the nous and vous forms exactly like we do in the présent de l'indicatif. Acheter, to buy. The radical is A-C-H, E accent grave, T, which you can use with all the other subjects except nous and vous. With nous and vous, the spelling will not have any accent. Que nous achetions, que vous achetiez. The accent grave is removed with nous and vous. Now that you have learned how to conjugate any verb in subjunctive present tense, I would recommend you to do this exercise and check if you are doing the conjugations correctly. Exercise 2. Put the correct forms of the verbs in the blanks. Le subjonctif présent. The answers are given in the PDF which you can download from the video description. Exercise 3. Conjugate the verbs in subjunctive présent. What you have to do is, you have to change the subject je to tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, elle. That is to say, 9 sentences out of each of these questions, which is a traditional conjugation exercise. The more you practice the traditional conjugation exercises, the more you become perfect with subjunctive or any other tense in French. I will continue this lesson on le subjonctif présent in my next video. Don't forget to download the free PDF on le subjonctif présent exercises. If you have any queries, feel free to ask in the comment section. Keep practicing, keep learning, and keep enjoying French. Here ends the first part of this video. See you on the second part of this video. À bientôt!